Okay, John Cook here at GeekWire out in front of the Seattle 2.0 Awards, and we're here with Dan Shapiro of SparkBuy and my trusty colleague Rebecca Lovell of GeekWire. And Dan, you're up for a big award tonight, Startup CEO. What? Are you going to win this?
Well, judging by the company, I really don't deserve to be nominated because we've got like Glenn, who IPO'd, we've got Ben Huh, who just raised like more money than anybody I know and has, you know, gajillions of users and revenue and all that stuff. And SparkBuy's still 3 people. You know, it's a tremendous honor. It's awesome recognition from the community, and maybe I can, you know, just like out pitch myself to the audience. We'll see.
All right, so this isn't your first rodeo, and you've probably done it every which way. But if, in a word, you had to sum up your advice: bootstrap, angel, VC, go.
Variety. So my last one was big VC, raised over $30 million in the course of doing Ontella. This one, we had $1 million rounds, fantastic. Brought in some small VC, great angel investors. Some people like to do the same thing over and over again and get really good at it. I just like to do completely crazy stuff I've never done before and learn new things. So variety, spice of life.
Or you could go the Bill Harding route and win the best bootstrap startup of Seattle and get venture funding.
Yeah, right. Like before the award closed, that was beautiful.
Right. So what's it going to take for the startup community to really elevate itself here? I mean, you've written a lot about that on our site, on GeekWire, and I know you have some strong opinions about it. So what's it going to take?
Yeah, it's something I thought a lot about. I'll tell you what drives me nuts is people who want to compete with Silicon Valley. That's just ridiculous. We don't want to be better than Silicon Valley. We want to be better than Seattle today because Seattle has an amazing set of things going for it. So what we need to step up our game, I think we need to get a broader funding base. We need to get more angels in. There's been lots of talk about that. I think it's crucial. Wouldn't hurt to have another active VC firm or 2 in the region as well. And I think we've got something really crucial right now, which is between Techstars and Founder Institute and some of these great incubator programs, we've got the framework to help people learn to become great entrepreneurs. And that's going to see the results. I don't think it's going to be 6 months. I don't think it's the first time around, but that's something that we grow and build off of. And the strengths of this region are huge. I mean, we've got more product, core consumer product skill here than they do down in the valley. We've got Amazon, we've got companies like Cranium, we've got Starbucks, we've got all these people building companies that just wouldn't fly down south. That's what's special about here, and that's what we need to build off of, the things that make Seattle great.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
You're up,
How's that for a rant?
Not one I haven't heard before, but we want to help beat that drum and make sure that Seattle and our region is established as a hub of innovation. So,
and of course, I failed to mention NWEN just because it was so obvious to all the listeners. We didn't even need to.
Thanks for the shout out.
Great. Thanks for coming out, Dan. Good luck tonight, and we'll be talking to you soon as you get more information shared about SparkBuy.
You got it. Thanks, John. Thanks, Rebecca.
Good luck.
Good luck. Okay, John Cook here, outside the Seattle 2.0 Awards, and we're here with Sunny Gupta of Apptio, and you're up for a couple awards tonight, correct?
Yes, correct.
And Sunny, you are, I've always admired your ability to think big, and you're thinking very big with Apptio. One of the things that's always impressed me is you said, we're not going for an M&A, we're going for a home run here, and I think we need more of that mentality in Seattle. Why are you thinking that way, and why do you think Seattle needs a big home run coming out of the area here?
Yeah, so let's start with Seattle first. I just believe in Seattle outside the Microsoft and Amazon. You know, there's really not that much left in the next generation of kind of bigger companies. I mean, you certainly have a few other companies like Concurs of the world, which are starting to rise. I just feel like kind of building the next generation sort of large enterprise companies out of Northwest will just have a move the needle type of impact in the Pacific Northwest and it'll also kind of foster other startups which will come out of that. The problem with the smaller companies are they get acquired by much bigger companies and then they disappear and not kind of much happens out of that. And then for my personal motivation, I just feel like I've been a victim to kind of taking a couple of these small companies and selling them too early, and I just feel like life is too short and we got to just build something of substantial scale. Now is the time. All the big guys are asleep at the wheel. They're not really innovating from within, so that gives us an incredible opportunity to build something of substantial scale.
Great. And tonight you're seeing a lot of consumer internet-oriented companies here that are up for awards. Companies like Cheeseburger and SparkBuy. I mean, you guys are business, enterprise, IT at Apptio. Explain for my mom, who's probably not listening to the podcast, but explain to her, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so very simple way to think about us is we are the Quicken or Mint, which those software packages are used to track your personal expenses. So think of us as the Quicken for IT. And so we really help IT departments understand the cost of running IT products and services, and help them produce bill of IT back to the business. So it's a Quicken style metaphor, which is interesting because in the consumer space, people have been managing their personal expenses, finances for a long time. But if you think about B2B IT, these individuals, there is $4 trillion kind of spent on technology, and they really don't use any financial and decision-making tools to kind of manage that expense.
Yeah, so helping IT managers get a better idea of what they're spending money on, essentially.
Yeah, and another way to think about it is our IT leaders, who are typically technology leaders, kind of tell us that, hey, Apptio allows me to become a business person without me going to business school. Because most technology folks in IT departments have technical degrees, and Apptio is allowing them to look at their IT more from a business lens, business metrics, business lens, cost metrics, which they've never had to do, and they don't really need to go to business school because Apptio can accelerate that for them.
Yeah, and you might not have a good answer to this because I know your business has been rocketing here in the last 12 months, but what's your sense of the general economy in terms of selling into enterprise and businesses? Is that heating up? Where's that at?
Yeah, from our perspective, we believe the worse the economy got, the better our business got, because there was more pressure on IT. And
so things aren't going well now. Is things heat up now, or is that?
No, now it's starting to become a category. So as the economy comes back, we feel like it's starting to become a category. So there's a much broader adoption happening. But I think from our perspective, selling to the enterprise, things have certainly changed. That people apply a lot more due diligence. People are not really just buying technology for the sake of buying technology. So anything which has a really, really good value proposition, unmet need, which nobody else is kind of meeting, and a must-have, I believe the market is as good as it's ever been from our ability to sell, whether it's frankly in the Pacific Northwest, or whether it's in the US economy, or even kind of seeing a resurgence now in the European market as well.
Great. Well, Sunny Gupta of Apptio, certainly a startup CEO that you want to keep your eye on here in the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for joining us on the GeekWire podcast.